Got the blue on Meredith's helmet. Oh boy, look at that blue. Oh, I love that color. So I was kicking Meredith's helmet around in my head and I was looking at the pictures of her car. I've done this trick before a few times where you use this material called liquid mask. It's basically just what the name entails. It's liquid masking tape. And you could brush it on kind of like a glue, and then as it dries, it solidifies and you can peel it back off. And while it's dried, before we peel it off, I'm going to do some painting to kind of bring this blue, to kind of break this blue up a little bit. Not that it's a bad blue, I really like the blue. But the blue in her car has some busyness inside of the graphic. So I'm going to try to add a little bit of that here with this liquid mask and some airbrushing. Basically, to apply it, you shake it up really, really well, and I just use a smaller tip brush. Just load the brush up a little bit and just kind of brush it on. So I know what you're thinking, that looked like a time-consuming process. It actually only took a couple of minutes to apply it. We got to let it dry for a little bit, and then picking them off is a little bit painstaking. It takes around 5 to 10 seconds a piece to pop those off there. But ultimately, if you're doing custom painting, you're going to be going that extra mile. You're going to be doing these painstaking processes to get a unique look. There's a lot of people painting helmets, and it's easy to make your stuff look like somebody else's stuff, but to kind of have your own look or have a unique look and not copy everybody else's design, doing unique stuff like this, fun stuff, is it just sets you apart. And it is a tough process doing this particularly, but there are a lot of other things, a lot of other tools that and tricks that we'll cover throughout these different videos. But this is just one. This is liquid mask. I've seen it done with like Chinese lettering, all done by brush, and it looked really, really cool. But this is just kind of a, I don't know, I just kind of like that broken up look, that kind of spotty look, and maybe it'll look like leopard spots or something. You know, I'm not really sure. We'll just roll with it and see how it looks in the end. I went through and I did a bunch of airbrushing and I removed it, and I thought my video was rolling. It was about an hour-and-a-half process from the time that I started airbrushing to the time that I got the blue done. I peeled it off, and then I went back and I did some shading on some of my lines, which brings us to where we were at, and I realized that I had not hit record. That I'm not really sure what I had done, but it did not record. So unfortunately, we lost out on that entire process of airbrushing and removing those patches. But as you can see, it worked out pretty unique. It's got a really kind of a cool look. It's not a pattern like a stencil look. It's all been done by hand. And I think when it's all cleared up and broken up, we've got all these lines off there. We've got the white, the neon red, we've got all that. It's really gonna pop, and it's gonna have a really, really unique look to it. So hope you guys like it. Hope you guys dig the look that we provided with that liquid mask, and we are going to move forward. I'm going to unmask this, get it ready for some clear. All right, we are ready to sand this thing. We've got this great layer of clear that's going to seal this thing in like an M&M. We need to knock out a quick sand on it. I'm going to use 500. 500 is a little bit coarser than what we originally sanded this helmet with, just because it's going to take me a little bit to knock through all this stuff. But when you have a coarser sandpaper, you've got to be really careful that you don't knock the paint off of these corners, especially these corners down here, because we don't plan on putting anything else on top of these. So right now, if we were to knock through there, it's going to be a pain in the butt to go back and fix that. We can do it, but it's going to be a pain in the butt. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on sanding this. This is going to be a little bit of a tedious sand, trying to get all these lines knocked out without cutting through, but I've done it 100 times, so it shouldn't be an issue. After that, we will go through, we'll do our next layer, which is the neon red, and we'll start fixing a lot of these little issues that we've had that have arisen throughout the scheme. So. I've got some touch-ups that I've got to make. So where my paint layers had come across the white, the blue, and I had masked, you'll see a little bit of marks there from the underlying layers after I'd sanded it. This happens on almost every single helmet. You're always going to have spots that the paint blows through the tape. It gets underneath there. This is not a big deal. Just like sharpening up these corners, usually when you fine line cut them, they're not perfect. So I'll go back, and what I'll do is I'll mask those lines, I'll airbrush in the white, I'll clean all that up, and these lines will be perfect. We won't have any of these bleed through spots, we won't have any of these under layers showing through. This is typical of every single helmet that you're going to work on. Anytime you stack those paint layers and you peel that tape back, there's an ability there for this thing to peel these edges up and to have kind of a dirty line. It's literally just a matter of going back, cleaning all this little stuff up. The majority of the work is done. We just got to go, pretty up some of those little details. We still have to add this stuff to the top. I'm still going to put some more airbrushing in here and kind of pizzazz it up a little bit. But before I can go any further, I need to get in there and get those mistakes fixed. So I'm going to do that right now. Getting closer. We've got to do some airbrushing still in these areas. I've got to put her name on it. But more importantly, I've got to finish the number. I've got some touch-ups to do, and I've got to add the neon red to it. I'm going to go ahead and get this masked up, get the neon red down. I'm going to go ahead and remask this and touch the white up so there's a little bit of fading on the white. So I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit, and then we're going to put the neon red on it. And then, be ready to finish everything up and clear it. I'm ready to put the name on Meredith's helmet. It'll go right here. It is this water slide decal. So I'm going to show you real quick how to put your water slide decals in. First thing, go ahead and put it in your water after you get it all cut. Now I did put, I sprayed on some clear coat, some just regular rattle can clear after you get them printed. Spray that on there, it seals it all in. Let it soak for a few minutes. Move it around a little bit if you need to. Keep it wet. It needs to be submersed in just regular, I use bottled water just so I know that it's clean. Okay, after it's all soaked up, get it located where you want it. And then slide your paper right out from underneath of it. I like it.